The internet is littered with listicles. It seems everyone has an opinion, and those are inevitably ranked in numerical order, or at the very least, put in a numbered system to differentiate between items or topics. For whatever reason, video streaming platforms like YouTube set preference for videos done in this way, because algorithmic robots like when humans are conversationally anal retentive. Lots of people are turning to the internet as a way of expressing themselves now more than ever. And since I want all of you to be a success, I've broken with my previous model of doing into-camera, hard-cut sketch and monologues to lay it all out in the format that the internet overlords demand. And the first unlisted rule of this is that you have to have a long, meandering opening diatribe featuring related images and video of what you're about to talk about, thereby stretching the runtime of your list. So I'm going to continue to wax poetic for a few more paragraphs about the whole ordeal. Top 10 lists are an inherently natural way Western minds think, with a solid base 10 format for laying out an arguably arguable set of whatevers in an order to be agreed with or debated by anyone and everyone, also known as knowledgeable critics. So, get those opinions ready. Figure out a thing that's either been talked about 1,000 times or conversely never addressed by anyone because who would actually want to? And prepare yourself for this guide to making videos about your ordered opinions. I'm Mark, this is my channel, and that was the obligatory transition to introduce the thing you've already been watching me talk about for some time, which I usually skip. These are the top 7 tips for making a top 10 list video. Show the results of your top list in the intro. While unnecessarily dragging out the intro and padding your runtime by waxing poetic about the topic in the title, people can't just stare at a blank screen. And, unless you look like one of the high-cheekboned, well-angled, and well-endowed presenters, nobody wants to look at your face for that long. Not only must you show images that in some way relate to your video, but whatever the topic, make sure to give away elements of the things that will appear in the high end of your list. Doing top 10 scenes from remakes of Little Women? Roll that beautiful Beth having scarlet fever footage. You don't have to give away the whole store, but definitely tip your hand in a big way so everyone knows at the start what it is they're in for. Audio! Always, always, always. Clear audio. I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that you be heard all of your videos. Background noises and the like be distracting, so turn off fans and air conditioning to avoid hums. In smaller recording apartments, maybe also turn off your ice maker, unplug your refrigerator, and disconnect your water heater. As a side note, never record in Florida during the summer. Buy and use a professional dedicated mic with a cover and a screen. Professional sound makes professional videos. Whenever possible, have a British accent. This is not a requirement, but it is definitely the industry standard. If you want your video taken seriously and sound smart, talk Britannic. English-speaking audiences around the world are major consumers of these videos, and studies have shown that Americans feel all British accents sound smarter. Those same studies have also found that people in England find British accents to be understandable. British people also think that their accents sound smarter than American accents, but that's because of the British education system teaching them about the American public education system. Moreover, proper British dialects sound to viewers like someone you can trust at their word, full of honesty and good intention. And they feel that way across the English-speaking world, from Ireland to the Caribbean to India. Lighting and background. Talking into camera? Make sure the audience can see every line, wrinkle, and pore. A well-lit room and face makes your video seem way more professional. Almost like you may actually be trying to launch a media empire, as opposed to being a disgruntled fanboy ranting about why Punisher Warzone is the best Marvel film in your video entitled Top 10 Reasons Why All You Libtard Cucks Think Captain Marvel Wasn't a Mary Sue Poser Affirmative Action Hire #MeToo Clickbait. If you're going to foam at the mouth, then the people on small screen phones are going to want to see the shooting off. So I suggest a circular light, or open window on a sunny day placed in front of you. Behind you, you're going to want either a bookshelf filled with random ephemera related to the topic you're talking about, or a green screen that can slightly mesh you with an image of an epic and recognizable, though not copyrightable, image. Avoid anything distracting and pay special attention to make sure that you don't have anything reflective that may give away a little bit of that recording a movie magic. The goal here is to get the visual part of your video looking good. Don't be like the tax accountant from the last tip. Be like the prince. That's the most important piece of advice you should have walked away with from the last one. It's why I spent so much time talking about the tax accountant. He was a parable that applies not just to that tip, but to this one as well. And as long as that's what you had in mind the entire time while watching this, then I think you got it. Editing. Shooting your video is only one small part. The real masterwork comes in editing it properly. Anyone can just bloviate directly into camera and upload it. And they do. It reminds me of the ancient well-known parable of the tax accountant and the prince, where the tax accountant was an asshole, and the prince was actually a duck, but with more feathers. Maybe the world's most important parable. All the tax accountant had to do was be seen. If he had edited the PowerPoint presentation to be more visually stimulating, then the information would have gotten through, and all those people wouldn't have died tragically. Also, if the prince hadn't been a duck. Make sure to go crazy with effects in post. Drop in lots of sound effects and quick visual jumps to keep the audience watching. People on the internet are like toddlers. You need to keep jingling your keys in front of them every few seconds to make sure they maintain interest. When cutting to video or pictures, don't worry if the end of a word or the beginning of another word gets cut off. The human brain is built to fill in the gaps, and your audience is smart enough to understand what you were trying to say. Always hedge. Worried that your list will stir controversy? Concerned everyone will agree with you so as to make those things too generic? Apprehensive nobody will make hurtful and snarky comments about your listicle on the internet? Never worry about that. Or the other things, really. But if you think that might be an issue, remember to always stay committed to the points you are fighting for on your list, while hedging so that you can walk back any assaults from the realm of the trolls, or people who understand facts better than you. Say disarming things like, I know, extremely often. Make fourth wall breaking references to the comment section disagreeing with you. Highlight that it's just one man's opinion. If you say it's just one woman's opinion, you're guaranteed to get people questioning it and arguing with you. Use declarative statements like, everyone knows, or obviously, then follow that sentence with a sentence featuring, but maybe not. If you hedge right, you're never wrong. End at 10 minutes, 1 second. The great and powerful gods of the internet have dictated that the appropriate time for a video is more than 10 minutes, and less than 5.5 hours. But what if you feel like you can't really hit that mark? Well, as has been pointed out, the appropriate length of time minimum that you need is 10 minutes and 1 second. As long as you can get your video there, it doesn't matter what comes afterwards.